Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Etheria Restart video. So in today's video, guys, we are back on the free-to-play with an update. Now, you kind of saw an update yesterday with Leon, because I was talking about whether she's good enough or not. So you did see that I beat Hell for Terramaton, but we also did beat Hell for Doki Doki. Now, the Hell for Doki Doki team is like a 5-minute run. We've got it running in the background here. I don't know if it's 100%. 90%, 80%, nothing's 100% in this game, in my opinion. But the fact that we can beat it means a couple of things. The first one is we're going to be running this like in our spare time in the background to beat some of these, hyperlink charter challenges. And it's just going to be something that's going to be a slow grind. This is honestly one of the main pain points for, I think, free to play players if you don't have a premier DPS. The game puts so much emphasis on speed that them giving you a SSR character that is so bad in this dungeon is odd to me. Like, you need to have a real Mocha, you need to have a Shiata, you need to have a Rosa, you need to have a Yelly, to kind of do well in here. There is maybe one character that would perform really well in here that I would love to try, but of course, it's the one SR that I don't have. But I think that's really relevant for a lot of people, because I've put out a couple videos with all SR heroes, and people will say, it's the one SR I don't have. So, I feel your pain in this free-to-play series. This is the one character that I would really like to speed up my Doki Doki farm, because how we're running it right now is just, it's brutal. But we're on the second stage here, and you see, like, Gray is doing a good enough job as a DPS. We have so much healing and protection between those quote-unquote 3 healers. Valerian's not really a healer, but she does have, like, cheat death with her shield, and then you have Sonya, who can bring people back. So it's a very, very slow run, but I think it's extremely safe, because you are getting enough DPS out of the Gray with the White Fang. It's just a slow roll, right? It's a long-winded fight, but you are able to do it. Now, going back to the Terramaton Hell 4 team, this is another one that I think was really nice. And I was surprised that Ling Luo ended up performing really well in here. Between the Dyna and the Leon, we have enough DPS. Same thing with Kachi, just giving the bonus turns to Leon. Leon's damage output is very impressive in here. The Ling Luo, not only is it a lot of heals, but she has the ability to cleanse that speed down that the boss puts up. There are also times wherever the immunity from Ling Luo's skill 3 interacts right at the perfect time where the boss might try and do his turn meter pushback and speed down, but the immunity's up. So your turn cycling keeps pressing on. So this is kind of cool. This is not 100% either. A lot of this still kind of depends on Dyna achieving some of her debuffs at the necessary time. So here we did get an erosion proc, which is nice. This is where the Ling Luo puts up the immunity, which can be good. The damage output, like I said, from the Leon is just really nice. So some of those debuffs got resisted or whatever, but even if they were up, because we have the whale prayers from the Ling Luo, that means that they have a chance to be cleansed on that opponent's, on our Animus's turn anyway. So she has multiple cleanse here. She also extends the buffs from the Valerian, so that includes the shields, which, again, very, very nice kind of added effect there. So even though she takes a lot of damage from this boss, right, because On the Hell stages, she takes like 30% additional more damage. In Inferno, it's 200%, which I don't think is going to work. But we are leveling up Dorothy the Wisher because we are gonna need her for Sharon. I think it's the only way that I can think of to beat Sharon with this kind of challenge that we got going on here. But we'll see if it's enough. We're gonna have our Sonya as our main healer. So this is where things get a little interesting. The Valerian has 2 turns left, but we should get a nice heal. Yep. So a nice heal here from the Ling Luo, which I think puts us back in the game. Helps us survive here. So that's the instance where I said her skill 3 kind of lines up well, because everybody but the Leon had immunity up. So they didn't get turn meter pushback and they didn't get the speed down. So looking like a successful run here. The boss can hit hard, but he can't one-shot people here because the left head is dead. If the left head was alive, it's possible that he would have been there. So we're getting consistent mythic gear now. You know, every once in a while, maybe we'll get unlucky with the double matrices and all of those things. But I wanted to walk you through the changes that were made because I told you, you know, we were troubleshooting in some of these prior episodes where it's just like, okay, this is this team. What can we do to tweak this? Do we really need to bring in a different character or something yet? So we switched our gear sets, right? In the last video, we were running 12 onslaught and then just the momentum for the crit rate. But now we put the momentum set matrix piece at 12. So every debuff that the boss has on them, Leon's going to do additional damage. And then we still have a little bit of the onslaught boost. Now that we have the chance to get 3-piece matrices, we can actually go to a 12-12. So we can get the 45% attack from onslaught and the momentum bonus. So this is pretty cool. However, for Sharon Inferno, I think I need to change this to Keen Eye and Onslaught because the momentum set does nothing in there, and I need every single inch of damage that I can get out of Sharon. When it comes to Ling Luo's skill 3 is now fully maxed. This was great for a couple reasons. One, Terramaton is a consistent run now, and this almost increases our clear rate of Aurora Hell 4 to 100% because she just loops back around to her big heals fast enough. We also did fully lattice out our Sybil now, so the Aurora run is extremely consistent. We also took our Valerian up to 6 stars, and we put a gigabyte on her. So these are all big changes. I rolled for a shield passive. She has better HP, and she reduces her damage taken. So her new HP is around 45,000, where prior to that it was like 38. So that means that the shields are bigger and whatnot. We can still make more upgrades here. So the gigabyte is on Wellspring Strive. That means we can take like these 2 random pieces of Unbreakable and Swift Rush off, and whenever we get the triple drop matrix of Wellspring, we can put her in a 12-piece Wellspring. So instead of 10 HP, we're getting 45%. So it should bump her up closer to 50, so bigger shields and all of those things, making everything more consistent. We need to farm the heck out of Terramaton, Doki, and Aurora. We need to min-max all of our matrices. We need to farm better shells now to take advantage of those matrices to be able to beat Inferno. But the natural progression of this game, I think, is you beat all Hell 4 stages, and then after you farm up enough gear, to beat Sharon and Shadow Flame Hoyon on Inferno. getting the triple matrix pieces on Jackal Guard and your Revelation are going to be really, really important to min-max your damage on like people like Sybil, and then the Jackal Guard is just going to be really important for the additional speed, the additional boosting, and all of those things. So yeah, and like I said, I am watching this shop over here, this module shop, like all the time to see if any of these specialized cores end up being useful. I haven't found one yet. I'm really looking for Swift Smite, right? This can be a really good one. And also Swift Rush or Swift Raid. I always get those two mixed up. I forget. Sorry. Swift Raid. Yeah. The speed and the attack. I think that's going to be a big piece for someone like Gray. But the Swift Smite is going to be really important for the Jackal Guard and stuff like that. But that's the natural progression. But you see here, so this is really slow, but it's consistent. So I can just run Doyoki Hell 4 in the background throughout the day, get my 5 runs in, every 30 minutes, log back in, reset it, and then move on from there. So we are at the point now where everything is available to us, and we just have to be patient with the amount of gear that ends up dropping. We have to, choose wisely on the pieces that we level up, because this is where you run into bottlenecks with silver and all of those things. So yeah, that's kind of the update, guys. It's been a nice, consistent progression. Let's see how long we've logged in for. So we're at the 22-day mark, and all 4 health stages are done. Like I said, Nico Nana Inferno is done. So just solid progression out of this account. I did want to show you, this is the Aurora Hell 4 team. It's the same team that I've been using, except now we have the Ling Luo skill 3 fully maxed, and we have Valerian and Gigabyte. And then also we have the Sybil fully leveled. So all of these things are very, very good. The reason why we need to farm Doki a lot is because the anti-sync echoes is kind of where we're stuck with Rahu. We can't beat Rahu. This purely comes down to speed. If I get more speed, I can end up cutting in front of Rahu and the team with our red Kachi to push them back. Now, another thing that I can possibly try is just upgrade him to 6 stars to give him 5 more speed. We can also roll this passive for a little bit more as well, but I don't want to do that just yet. We also still need a little bit of damage out of our Leon. I don't know if that means putting count on her or whatever, but Rahu has healing. He has the Marvels for the turn meter pushback, so it's kind of just a mess. In all honesty, we probably need double control heroes, so maybe we end up bringing in the Casio or something like that. But this is where we're stuck here. And on top of that, we're going to need our red Kachi to be even faster so we can go before this Sharon. This is going to be key. So our team here is going to be red Kachi, Leon, Valerian, and Dorothy the Wisher, which is who we're starting to lattice up. So this will be our team here. I just want to take a quick look. So Sharon is in front of the red Kachi, which is an issue because she has the ability to turn meter push her back, and we don't want that. We do want the ability to push back those side adds for the plants. This is where the Leon is going to be pretty crucial, but I don't have any gear or anything like that on the Dorothy the Wisher. But Dorothy ends up giving us additional crit damage buff and an additional turn like red Kachi. So we're just going to try and burst down this Sharon, but we do need the red Kachi to be faster. We also need the Dorothy the Wisher to be faster. So this is where I think the account is going to get really, really grindy. So like pieces like this, very, very good, where we have effect accuracy for the red Kachi and the speed, and we've got the attack bonus or whatever. This is still a good piece to eventually put on like a damage dealer that has some debuffs like Gray. So pieces like this are going to be big upgrades to the account, but we just got to keep farming because we're short on silver. It's going to be, the main thing. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the next one. See ya.